and confusion. Light can bring warmth and hope. Light can not only bears colors and dreams, but also transmits wonderfulness and happiness. Unilumin Group Company Limited was founded in 2004. In 2011, Unilumin was listed on the Chinext of Shenzhen Stock Exchange. In 2019, Unilumin became the global supplier of FIBA with the vision of Together for a Brighter Future. Unilumin is devoted to providing global clients with high quality and high performance LED full-color display screens, LED professional lighting, and urban landscape lighting series products and solutions. Unilumin drives its development through innovation. Unilumin integrates R&D, manufacturing, sales, and service. With 400,000 square meters of the world's largest intelligent LED display manufacturing base, leading the industry in modernization, scale, and standardization, Unilumin is the co-construction unit of the National Key Laboratory of Semiconductor Lighting Joint Innovation and has a national CNAS laboratory, postdoctoral innovation practice base, and talent training institution. Unilumin takes the lead in R&D and manufacturing in LED industry. So far, Unilumin has participated in the formulation of more than 30 national standards, industrial standards, and group standards. It has successfully undertaken more than 10 key scientific research projects, such as projects of Ministry of Science and Technology for the 12th and 13th five-year plans, National 863 Program Project, Important Technology Project of Guangdong Province, and Technological Breakthrough Project of Shenzhen City. Unilumin has obtained more than 1,300 domestic and foreign patents. It has won the first prize in the 2019 National Science Individual Product Champion of the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology Manufacturing, the Green Factory of the Industry and Information Technology Manufacturing, National Intellectual Property Superiority Enterprise, National Outstanding Innovation, and Guangdong Provincial Government Quality Award. Its representative products have successfully won international awards such as IF Gold Award, German Red Dot Award, Best of the Best, Japanese G-Mark Award, U.S. International Design Excellence Awards, and DFA Design for Asia Awards. Unilumin captures the market with quality. Unilumin's sales service network has covered more than 160 countries and regions in the world. It has more than 3,000 sales channels and service outlets. It has set 15 overseas subsidiaries and offices in the U.S., Russia, Britain, Australia, Japan, and so on. Unilumin provides global clients with excellent products and solutions. From the celebration for the anniversary of the People's Republic of China to the Olympics, World Expo, and World Cups, Unilumin has participated in many international events and witnessed numerous honorable moments, which will definitely go down in history. At the same time, throughout all those various important moments and grand activities, the Pro LED products and visual solutions of Unilumin have always been providing the most reliable safety guarantee. Unilumin constitutes a night scene with aesthetics. When night falls, Unilumin can integrate shadows, colors, and architectures perfectly, putting on a splendid coat for the night. It has created many classical landscape lighting projects, such as Shanghai Central Building, West Lake of Hangzhou, and Qingdao Port, bringing people spiritual enjoyment with lighting design. Unilumin streetlight and tunnel light have been used in more than 100 trunk roads and important tunnels at home and abroad. The streetlight renovation project of Guangzhou-Shenzhen Express Highway has successfully set 5 new records in the industry. Unilumin uses professional lighting to create a more comfortable and elegant environment. It will convoy the construction of intelligent cities in the 5G era with intelligent streetlight. In the future, Unilumin will continue to create a technological and design platform and devote to become a global leader of LED display solutions, adhering to craftsmanship spirit and the aspiration of serving the country through industrial development. Unilumin will make contributions to the industrial development and keep on striving for a better future of mankind.
Hello, my name is Ahmad. I'm from Unilumin, GTM Technical Marketing Group. Today I'm going to introduce XR, and we'll talk about what is XR and how did it become XR? Where did it come from? What is the difference between XR and all the other available realities? So without further ado, let's jump into it. Some of the things that we will be talking about today are listed here. So the virtual world, current situation analysis, solution introduction, LED display, and customer base, user value, and then we will look at some of our study cases. So, where the XR came from, how did it become what is it today? It started all with the virtual reality. Then it went into the augmented one, developed more, and the mixture of VR and AR, virtual reality and augmented reality, became the mixed reality, which is MR. The word MR mostly used for the technical term, not for the technical term, but for the marketing term. And if you put all these three together, the VR, AR, and MR, you get the XR, extended reality. The word itself explains so much about we're talking about the reality. The extended one, it includes all the features that reality or our imaginations can think about, or whatever the result we are trying to achieve from the nature in our physical world. So extended help us achieve that, but only on a set. So, the virtual reality. The immersive user entirely in the virtual world. You can't see anything in the physical plane, on the physical plane, in the physical plane. You can't touch it, you can only feel it. There is some extent to that. And all the virtual reality has the computer simulated, it is computer simulated reality. A true VR experience engages in all 5 senses. It gives you a taste, sight, smell, touch, and the sound. The 3 things that the sound, touch, and the sight, it's really common, but if you go really on to the next level of VR, you'll be able to get the taste and smell as well. Next one is the augmented reality. So we do know the augmented is impossible without the virtual world or without the real physical world. It really helps us to explain what is in our physical world, in our real world. To elaborate it, to give more detail about the real world, we use the augmented reality. The good example for those is the GPS maps from Google's or Baidu in China, and the Pokemon game. Or if you're going to explain something to somebody, trying to explain the process, how you are supposed to fix something, you can use the augmented icons on your display to explain how to solve the problem. Then it is the XR. Since the MR, it's just a mixture of VR and AR, we directly move on to the XR. So mixed reality sometimes refer to the hybrid reality. The merging of real worlds produce new environments and visualizations. The key characteristics that the synthetic content of the real world and the virtual world able to react with each other in the real time. So the purpose of the XR is whatever you are trying to get in the virtual one, you can actually achieve it through the whole setup in the real world. So our current situation analysis, here where the XR comes in. we have a real studio and a virtual studio. It's not the virtual reality studio, but just the chroma key one. It will be, normally when we see, especially the weather forecast on a TV channel, they mostly just use the chroma key version. It's easy, and if you haven't noticed, next time if you see any weather channel, just focus on the host. The person is just standing and moving the arms. It's not ideal to move yourself, and it doesn't give much of the interaction with the environment because there is nothing to interact with. The final result you'll be able to watch, the director will be able to see after it's been rendered through the whole system, whole computer setup. And if after the end result, if there is something wrong that you can't publish, then they have to do it all over again. So it makes the interaction really important, and a person has to be really professional to do work in the chroma key, the virtual studio environment. But in the real studio, it's the simple one. You have the real physical things to point at, to talk about. Makes it easier, but there is a catch. There is not one, there are drawbacks. The real studio, it's the computer-generated model, but after that, first you have to spend time on the computer model. Time and money, of course, you need that. Then you need people to make it happen, to complete the whole set. Then comes the environmental impacts and the noise pollution. And you need a lot of manpower and the material to make it happen, and only for one time. If you need to change it, you of course need to get more manpower and more material. And the longer construction periods, of course, you can't just do it in a short period of time. So start from the first point, creating computer model. In the real studio, you have to start from the creating computer model. But in the XR, you just need to make the computer model. All rest is just, you don't need it. You won't be needing it. In the Visual Studio, it's the pure green or blue box set. Final effects can only be seen after, as I mentioned, you won't be able to see where I'm trying to point at. If I misplace some sign, then I will have to do from the beginning to find out to do it right. Blind performance, as mentioned before, you have to be really interactive, really professional, because whatever you're doing, you can't see it. It's just on the teleprompter. If you point wrong, do it all over again. And the safety way is to just the one fixed point. You can't move it. You just have to stand still, able to move your hands, but only in the right direction. You can't misplace them. So the interactive Visual Studio, the smaller version could be called the immersive one, a bit simpler, and the extended one, which is mostly used for the film or television series shooting, commercial shooting, that kind of stuff. The thing that's about immersive, the interactive Visual Studio is WYSIWYG. The way you see is where you get. That's the main point that all the directors, they pay attention to. Whatever they're trying to achieve on the set, they want it happen. They don't want to, whatever they're trying to achieve, they can't get the end result. It really improves work efficiency, because you don't have to do any physical thing. You don't have to make any physical stage. It's all there. You just need to improve. You just need to make the 3D generated model and put it on the display, and you will get the perfect result. And scene restoration advantages. If you you already got the whole set ready to go. But director wants to tweak some of the things. If you're in the real physical set, it will take a lot of time. But here, only one step, change the 3D content. Immersive and XR. So there's not much of the difference between immersive and XR. It's a smaller setup, simple setup, only with the one tracker, but XR has more tracker. It also has the human motion tracking system, which makes it possible to put the AR stuff around the host. Whatever content AR you want to put, you can put in front, back, or fly it around the host, like a helicopter. But in immersive, it's limited. You can't achieve that effect. You can only put it to a certain point in the front or in the back. So, talking about the control system of the immersive and the XR, the three main things: the LED display, video controller, and the splicer. Then comes the server. Without the server, you won't be able to render the data and pass it to the splicer and then to the control system. And the last point is the camera tracking. In the XR, it's the same till the 5 points. And then comes in the camera rocker arm tracking system and human motion capture system. To make it more flexible, to achieve the more flexible environment, you could add the electronic control system for dynamic adjustment of the LED display. It happens to achieve the certain aspects, certain environment of lighting, if you are able to move the LED panel in some direction. The control system is pretty simple for the immersive one. We know about the second half part, from the video processor sending card and to the ground. But to get that 3D content, we need the servers. So the servers send the content to the video processor, and servers are controlled through the KVM switcher via terminal. And when there is the data transfer, it's between the rendering servers and the video processor. We need the network switcher to control all the servers and video processor, so we can control them via terminal. XR system topology is not so complex, but it also works on the same idea. You need to have the 3D content, send it to the rendering server, which will send it to the video splicer, then the control system, and to the videos. But before that, we also need the gen lock to lock all the equipment in the system, so there is no frame delay. And the network switcher to transfer data from rendering server to the scaling server. This stage can be customized. If you didn't know about that, there are good examples of Mandalorian and the Westworld. They actually used the whole XR system to shoot the whole seasons of that. So it could be small, cubicle, circle, any size you want, any size is required, it's possible. And the extended reality studio, key points consider regarding the display. There are a few things that we need to keep in mind. One of the important thing is the height. It has to be minimum 3 meters for the camera frustum. If it's not, then you might lose the shooting area, the screen, while you are shooting it. So the screen requirements will start from the first one, the certification, It has to be CC and CCC. Screen height, it has to be 3 meter. Screen pixel pitch. For the left and back, 2.6 is okay, but for the flow, we can also use 3.9. Screen size, for the left and back, 6 by 3 meter, and for the flow, 6 by 6 meter is ideal. Signal redundancy. It's ideal to have the signal redundancy for the live broadcasting setup. And there is the refresh rate. It has to be 3840. If it's not, then there will be so much flickering. Color temperature is one of the most important things in the LED display. Ground floor glass, it cannot be fully transparent to reduce the reflection. Then there are the sending cards. It's ideal to have 3 separate sending cards, 3 separate control systems for the left, right, and for the left, back, and the flow. Screen brand, it's really good if you buy just from the one company. If you buy from the different companies, then there's so many things that you need to consider to think that if it does not match, then the color temperature is going to have a really problem. Grayscale, it should be 12-bit or above, and the viewing angle, it's really good to have it over 160 degrees horizontal. So in our catalog, the Unilumin products, virtual filming products, we have 2, VPad 4F and U-Tile 3F. All the things that are needed to make the screen work in the virtual environment, these products have those and much more. Ultra wide viewing angle have reached the ultra high level. They can be used for facade display, ceiling display, floor tiles, and other filmmaking applications like commercial shootings. So here are these 3 products from our catalog, the UPad 3, UPad 4F, and U-Tile 3F. Only thing that I would like to mention is the brightness, 1500 nits, and for the ceiling, 5500 nits. This is one of the other important parts about the XR system, the software system. If you don't have this a good one, then it just won't work, because without this, you can't do the rendering in real time. There are few companies who are working in this field, but the famous one is the Disguise and the Datatons. The Datatons server are okay if you are just doing the 2D content. But when it moves to the 3D, these servers are really limited to that capability, where the Disguise generative servers come in. So the responsibility of a software is pretty simple. It should be able to do the powerful rendering. It should be able to edit, broadcasting control center, able to track the camera tracker, rocker art tracker, and the human motion capturing system. Human motion capture tracking system, and the panoramic video splicing. If you have really huge video and your server cannot scale it or cut it, then it's going to be a problem. So the software is supposed to have few of the things. What you see is what you get. If your software is not capable of doing that, then there is no good thing you're going to get from your XR studio. A customized screen, unified integration of people and environment. So I'm working on a stage if I have the XR Studio, it's gonna work as one. You won't be able to see the difference that it's only shot in a small room. So it's gonna just give you one unified output. Three-dimensional display. Since it's left, right, and bottom display, it will give you proper three-dimensional result in the real time. Our customer base is radio and telecommunication, TV communication, education, news media, industrial design, monitoring, theme venue, virtual simulation field. It gives really better interaction, the host and the virtual world. If you have XR, you won't be able to see it's not virtual. It would look like the reality. Situational experience, easy to express and modify. Whatever you want to change, whatever you want to achieve, you can do it in real time. And comes the immersive and XR. So this is a simple example of if you just don't see the dotted line, you will only see a whole environment. It's a 3D output, the result. But in reality, it's only the display, the left, back, and flow. After getting the rendering results, you will see it as the whole 3D video. So in the case studies, we already have sold our products, we supplied our product to so many XR applications. Virtual Event Studio, Belgium, Microsoft TV commercial, and the Art on Air studio. Here in our studio, we have the immersive system. This is what it looks like, and this is which is 3D content. And in Mexico, we also give the virtual events, MA virtual broadcast in USA. Here, it is before you saw the end result, but what in reality it looked like. Let's have a look. So that was how the first video was shot. It was not the real natural set. It was just the virtual set in a small room with the artificial trees and plants. But after shooting it, the end result looked really real, that it actually was shot in a proper jungle. Here is another one from Poland. This advertisement was shot also in a small box using the XR capabilities, the system.
Dobra, jeszcze raz.
Proszę pani, leki pani zostawiła.
That was the end result, but how did it look on the real XR set?
Without a doubt, this is the most exciting thing that's happened in the industry since the advent of green screens. I truly believe this is going to make an impact in terms of democratizing storytelling on a whole new level.
We are here today for our shared passion for filmmaking and technology. New technology, or rather the technology of the future. We were conducting tests all week, and today we're finally shooting our demo. There is a giant wow factor when it comes to virtual production, not only because it looks cool and everyone who sees it wants to have a look and an experience, but because of the enormous possibilities it creates.
Technologia, której tu używamy, jest bez wątpienia jakąś wielką szansą na realizację zdjęć tu na hali, które normalnie byśmy realizowali na przykład w ciepłych krajach albo w jakichś odległych plenerach. Bardzo to jest dla aktorów dobre, którzy zamiast grać na green screenie mają kontekst przestrzeni, w której się znajdują. No to daje nieograniczone możliwości inscenizacyjne. Jak ja zobaczyłem przed chwilą po prostu, że mogę ściemnić niebo, czy nawet przesunąć samolot o 10 metrów, to są rzeczy, które w realu na lotnisku Okęcie byłyby nie do osiągnięcia.
It is an amazing tool for sci-fi and fantasy. It allows us to change the perspective immediately and to be able to judge the directions of the camera, the lighting. Everything is done in real time.
Ruch kamery jest spięty, na żywo trakowany ze zmieniającym się tłem. Wszystko jest podpięte pod Unreal Engine. Przy tej technologii możliwości są nieograniczone i dziś siedzę, patrzę i pozostaję zadziwiony, jak daleko może pójść obecnie wyobraźnia przy właściwie niemal niezmiennym budżecie.
Dla mnie z perspektywy producenta filmowego ta technologia jest absolutnym przełomem. Przygotowując filmy fabularne, seriale telewizyjne, widzę już ujęcia i widzę sceny, które po prostu możemy tutaj nakręcić w sposób bezpieczny, całkowicie kontrolowalny.
Virtual production nie jest już trendem, jest tendencją, która zostanie z nami na dłużej. Kluczowa będzie technologia i wiedza, jak ją obsługiwać, ale jestem pewien, że coraz więcej planów zdjęciowych będzie realizowanych właśnie w tej technologii.
It's really amazing to see all these filmmakers and producers pass by the set and just see their eyes light up as they watch, the background move or this ability to just shift time of day or create a never-ending golden hour on set right here straight away as you need it.
That was how the commercial was shot. And produced by the visual support Ingenious, Opus Film, Policy Studio, and Funky, Fox Studio. So that was the simple introduction of XR and what we can achieve with it. Thank you very much for stopping by.